Gold teeth from Jasenovac. Wedding rings from Auschwitz. Swiss francs stolen from murdered Jews in Belgrade. May 1946. A Croatian priest in black cassock slips through a side door under St. Peter's Basilica. Swiss guards look away. He carries 2 heavy leather suitcases. Inside, blood gold. He descends marble stairs lit only by candlelight. At the bottom stands the ancient vault of the Istituto per le Opere di Religione. The door swings open, scales wait on a mahogany table. Gold is weighed, counted, logged in a leather ledger. No customs form, no police record, no questions asked. 2,000 years the church has preached voluntary poverty. 80 years the same church has run the most untouchable offshore bank on earth. Nazi loot in 1945. Sicilian heroin profits in 1978. Dictator bribes in 2023. All washed clean behind Vatican walls. No public balance sheet, no external auditor. Diplomatic passports for every courier. Sovereign immunity for every crime. If you want more stories like this, consider subscribing. It truly helps the next chapter. Every Sunday, the Pope begs the poor to give their last coin. Every Monday, priests sign transfer orders for billions stained with genocide and cocaine. The same fingers that lift the Eucharist lift briefcases of cash. The same voice that condemns greed protects numbered accounts. This is not legend. This is declassified US Treasury files, Mafia supergrass testimony, and sealed Vatican archives that will never see daylight. This is the moral history of money wearing a Roman collar, and the vaults remain locked in 2025. Pope Pius XIV signs the secret decree that births the Istituto per le Opere di Religione. The stated purpose: shield church funds from Mussolini's taxmen. The real purpose: erect a sovereign bank inside a sovereign state that bows to no earthly law. No tax treaties, no money laundering statutes, no public ledger. Only the Pope can name or sack directors. Only the Pope can open the books. He never does. Within a decade, the IOR swallows at least 350 tons of gold from 3 poison rivers. Reichsbank reserves stripped by the SS. Ustasha coffers robbed from murdered Serbs, Bosnians and Jews. Black market profits skimmed from Marshall Plan reconstruction. The route is simple and sacred. Austria to Rome, seminary to crypt, handcart through underground tunnels, vault door, Swiss cantonal banks, then Argentina, Spain, Syria. The men who run it wear clerical collars. Bishop Hudal, Father Draganovic, Monsignor Montini, later Paul VI. Every transfer is written by hand in ledgers that vanish forever in a single night. By the late 1960s, the same machinery is offered to a new client, Cosa Nostra. Michele Sindona and Roberto Calvi, lay advisors, walk the marble corridors. Heroin dollars from Palermo and New York flow in. They leave as donations to ghost charities in Liechtenstein and Panama. The Vatican Bank is not a bank. It is a moral abyss dressed in white. War ends in smoke and silence. Berlin is rubble. Ustasha officers rip off blood-crusted uniforms, stuff wooden crates with gold teeth yanked from gas chamber victims at Jasenovac. Wedding rings torn from fingers in Auschwitz-bound trains. Entire Serbian state treasury looted from Belgrade vaults. Watches stripped from Jewish wrists in Zagreb synagogues. 300 million Swiss francs in metal and paper. They flee south in stolen trucks, Red Cross ambulances, on mules across Alpine passes. Forged papers stamped by sympathetic priests. They reach the Eternal City dressed as harmless displaced persons fleeing communism. Bishop Alois Hudal waits behind the iron gate of the Teutonic College beside St. Peter's Square. He smiles, calls them poor refugees persecuted by Tito's partisans. Father Krunoslav Draganovic stands beside him, eyes cold, hands ready. Suitcases change hands without a word. No customs declaration, no police escort. Only the quiet rustle of cassocks and the clink of hidden metal. Midnight. A small convoy slips through Porta Cavalleggeri. Swiss guards in Renaissance uniforms raise the barrier without checking plates. Vatican City swallows the cargo whole. Down spiral stone stairs carved when Nero still ruled. past the necropolis where popes sleep under dust. Into corridors lit only by oil lamps. The handcart wheels echo like distant thunder. The vault door of the Istituto per le Opere di Religione swings open on silent hinges. Inside, mahogany tables, brass scales older than America, leather ledgers bound in human skin soft vellum. Suitcases open one by one. Gold teeth spill like hail on black velvet. Rings form glittering piles. Bars stamped with the Reichsadler eagle gleam heavy and obscene. A small furnace hidden behind the sacristy glows cherry red. Crucibles wait. Old stamps melt away in white-hot fury. New molds bear only a simple Latin cross. Molten rivers pour. Fresh bars cool on wet stone, hissing like snakes. A hammer strikes the final mark. Clean, anonymous, holy. The teeth go next, poured into sacks weighted with prayer books. Carried to the Tiber at 3 a.m., thrown from Ponte Sant'Angelo, where angels watch in stone silence. They sink without a trace. Now the paperwork. Bearer certificates, handwritten on thick cream parchment. No names, only numbers. Signed by monsignors who will take the secret to their graves. Sealed with scarlet wax and the Vatican crest. Envelopes thick as bricks. These envelopes buy new lives. Steamships from Genoa to Buenos Aires. First-class cabins paid in cash. Argentine customs officers wave them through with diplomatic smiles. Villas in Bariloche. Ranches in Cordoba. Ante Pavlik walks the pampas counting Vatican gold under jacaranda trees. Klaus Barbie teaches torture techniques to Bolivian generals, funded by the same river of metal. Adolf Eichmann drinks mate in a quiet suburb until the Mossad knocks. Yugoslavia screams for restitution. Jewish organizations file claim after claim. The Holy See responds with sorrowful letters and 0 grams returned. The ledgers, burned in bronze braziers until only ash remains, swept into the river with the teeth. US Treasury agents watch from afar, powerless. Vatican City is sovereign soil. Diplomatic immunity is absolute. The Pope prays for peace while his bank guards genocide profits. The machinery is perfect. The silence is eternal. Years pass, the same corridors, the same vault, the same silent Swiss guards. The gold is gone, but the system remains. Ready for the next client. Ready for the next sin. The church preaches poverty from golden pulpits, while its bank counts blood money in the dark. This is how sovereignty launders hell. This is how mercy becomes complicity. This is the moral history of money hiding beneath a white collar. The rat line is buried. A new empire knocks, Cosa Nostra. Sicilian heroin floods America and Europe. Hundreds of millions in dirty bills stack in Palermo cellars, reeking of cocaine and death. They need sovereign laundering. Michel Sindona, sharp Sicilian god's banker, strides Vatican marble in pinstripes, Red Cross of Knights of Malta gleaming. Roberto Calvi, pale Banco Ambrosiano chairman, follows. Both know the vault that swallowed Nazi gold will swallow heroin cash without a sound. Istituto per le Opere di Religione opens new numbered accounts. No names, no questions. Diplomatic pouches arrive twice weekly from Palermo, sealed scarlet Vatican wax. Inside, vacuum-packed bricks of heroin-dusted $100 bills. Same priests who melted wedding rings now count Sicilian money on same mahogany tables. Bundles rubber-banded, totals logged in fresh ledgers by candlelight. Hours later, the cash is wired out immaculate to ghost companies in Liechtenstein, Panama, Bahamas. Fake invoices, humanitarian aid, African orphanages, missions, Pope's signature forged, Calvi signs shaking. Sindona laughs in Milan, raises Campari, Vatican Bank is the safest place on earth. June 1978. 1 week, $1.3 billion vanish from IOR through Ambrosiano. Fake charities bloom. Vatican diplomats cross borders untouched. Pyramid collapses. Banco Ambrosiano bankrupt, owing $1.4 billion, almost all to IOR. Creditors howl, magistrates raid, Calvi flees Rome, briefcase handcuffed, forged passport. London, found hanging under Blackfriars Bridge at dawn. Pockets stuffed bricks and Vatican documents. Throat cut first. Official verdict, suicide. Sindona arrested New York, extradited, Jailed Voghera. 2 days after testifying, drinks espresso, cyanide, convulses, dies. Official verdict, suicide. August 1978, Albino Luciani becomes John Paul I. Smiling Venetian reads Calvi Sindona files by lamplight. Underlines sums in red. Tells secretary, "This bank is a scandal before God." Schedules dismissal of entire IOR leadership and full publication. 33 days after election, found dead in bed. Dossier open on floor. No autopsy. No toxicology. Vatican says heart attack. Before sunrise, files vanish, fed into same bronze brazier that ate ratline ledgers. Ashes scattered into Tiber. John Paul II elected. Promises reform. Nothing changes. Archbishop Paul Marcinkus, tall American who ran dirty years, hides behind diplomatic immunity. Retires Arizona with Vatican pension. Dies smiling 2006. Benedict XVI admits Moneyval inspectors 2010. They leave shaking heads. Francis vows transparency 2013. Closes 800 accounts. World applauds. Behind scenes, old accounts renumbered. New diplomatic pouches arrive. Euros replace dollars. Mahogany tables polished mirror bright. Vault door opens only for those who know silent password. Machinery hums quietly. Same priests count on same tables. Same Swiss guards salute same diplomatic cars. Same brass plaque glows under eternal candle. Istituto per le opere di religione. Same moral abyss dressed in white. The scandals fade from newspapers. The church survives every storm. The vault endures unchanged. 2025. The Istituto per le opere di religione still hides behind the same ancient iron door beneath the Torre San Giovanni. Same mahogany tables polished to a mirror shine. Same antique brass scales gathering dust. Only the money has evolved. Crisp euro bundles, bearer bonds in sealed envelopes, cryptocurrency hardware wallets glowing cold blue. The clients wear new masks, Russian oligarchs with diplomatic passports, Latin American narco bishops in purple sashes, European arms dealers with Vatican medals, African dictators sending donations for cathedral roofs that never get built. The method remains sacred and untouchable. Diplomatic pouches still arrive at dawn. Numbered accounts still open without names or questions. Pope Francis preaches radical poverty from the simple rooms of Casa Santa Marta. Behind him, the IOR quietly manages 7 billion euros in hidden assets. No public balance sheet ever published. No external auditor ever allowed inside. Only a hand-picked Vatican commission that reports exclusively to the Pope. In 2020, the commission discovers 1,200 suspicious accounts linked to money laundering. They are closed with a stroke of a pen. The funds are silently transferred to new numbers. No criminal charges filed, no restitution to victims. The poor who filled the collection plates never learn their coins financed oligarch yachts. The London property scandal explodes. The Secretariat of State used Peter Pence donations to purchase luxury apartments in Chelsea through a web of offshore companies. The broker was an Italian layman with direct IOR access. Total cost, 350 million euros. Final loss, 150 million euros. 10 Vatican officials indicted in the first criminal trial inside the city walls in centuries. The broker receives 4 years. The apartments are sold at fire sale prices. The faithful who gave their last coins for the starving never discover their alms bought penthouses for speculators. Cardinal Angelo Becciu is convicted of embezzlement. He wired millions through the IOR to rescue his brother's failing sardine factory in Sardinia. The factory closes anyway. The money disappears into family accounts scattered across Swiss cantons. Becciu is defrocked. The sardines rot. The poor remain hungry. A new leak. The Vatican held shares in a pharmaceutical company, manufacturing abortion pills through a Luxembourg fund managed by the IOR. When journalists expose the investment, the shares are dumped overnight. No public apology. Only a terse press release promising ongoing ethical review. The machinery never pauses. The same priests who celebrate dawn mass in St. Peter's return at dusk to count blood money on the same tables. The same hands that bless the poor sign wire transfers for the rich. The same lips that condemn greed protect the greediest. The same sovereign immunity shields every crime. The world watches in silence. The faithful continue to give. The poor continue to wait. The vault grows fatter. The brass plaque still reads, Istituto per le opere di religione under the eternal candle. The moral abyss, dressed in pristine white, is deeper than ever. Gold teeth from Jasenovac 1946 become bearer certificates in Swiss banks. Heroin dollars from Palermo 1978 become fake orphanage donations in Panama. Cryptocurrency from Moscow 2025 becomes bearer bonds in Luxembourg. Same vault door swings open for every crime. Same mahogany tables bear every stain. Same priests sign every transfer. Same sovereign immunity shields every sin. The church preaches poverty while practicing wealth. The sermon evolves. The machinery never does. The Pope who condemned Nazi genocide hid who stash of gold. The Pope who condemned drug trafficking washed Mafia cash. The Pope who condemns oligarch corruption shelters their fortunes. The same hands that lift the Eucharist lift briefcases of blood money. The same lips that speak mercy protect murderers. The same white cassock covers the same black ledger. The same bronze brazier that burned ratline ledgers burns London property files. The same Tiber that swallowed melted teeth swallows incriminating ashes. The same Swiss guards that saluted Nazi couriers salute Russian couriers. The same vault that accepted genocide profits accepts corruption profits side by side. In 1946, the world begged for justice and received Vatican silence. In 1982, Italy begged for transparency and received 2 suicides. In 2025, the world begs for reform and receives press releases. The poor give their last coins, the rich give their dirty millions. The poor receive prayers, the rich receive clean accounts. Peter's pence becomes penthouses in Chelsea. Arms for the starving become yachts in Monaco. Donations for African missions become Swiss family trusts. The faithful who fill collection plates for the hungry fund luxury flats for speculators. The widows who drop their mites buy private jets for oligarchs. The orphans who wait for bread watch cardinals wire millions to failing sardine factories. The church that built hospitals with one hand built escape routes with the other. The church that fed refugees with one hand funded their persecutors with the other. The church that condemns abortion with one hand invests in abortion pills with the other. The church that begs for the poor with one hand counts their coins with the other. The same priests who celebrate dawn mass return at dusk to count blood money on the same tables. The same hands that bless children sign wires for arms dealers. The same lips that condemn greed protect the greediest. The same sovereign immunity that protected Nazis protects narcos, protects oligarchs. The moral history repeats exactly. The illusion resets perfectly. The debt grows heavier every cycle. The poor carry it on bent backs. The rich count it in private vaults. The church absolves both while banking both. The brass plaque never changes. The candle never goes out. The abyss never fills. Money built empires, but it also built illusions. And every time we forget that, history resets the debt. Gold teeth from Jasenovac entered the vault in 1946. Heroin dollars from Palermo in 1978. Cryptocurrency wallets from Moscow in 2025. 80 years of the same mahogany tables. 80 years of the same priests signing the same sins. 80 years of the same sovereign immunity protecting the same crimes. The church that claims to be the bride of Christ has run the oldest, safest, most immoral offshore bank in history. It accepted genocide profits while preaching love. It laundered Mafia cash while preaching purity. It shelters oligarch fortunes while preaching justice. The same hands that break the bread break every commandment once the vault door closes. Money is not neutral. Money is the greatest moral system humanity ever invented. It records every choice. It exposes every hypocrisy. The Vatican Bank is the clearest mirror the institutional church has ever held to its own face. It shows a bride dressed in white with pockets full of blood money. It shows shepherds who feed the sheep with one hand and fleece them with the other. It shows successors of Peter who guard the keys of heaven while unlocking hell for the highest bidder. The poor gave their widows mites, believing they fed the hungry. Their coins bought villas for Nazis, yachts for mobsters, penthouses for speculators. The faithful filled Peter's pence, believing they built orphanages. Their donations built escape routes for murderers, bailouts for sardine factories, shares in abortion pill companies. The starving waited for bread while cardinals wired millions to family accounts. The widows prayed for mercy while their arms paid for oligarch jets. The orphans begged for shelter while their collection plates funded luxury flats in Chelsea. Every sealed diplomatic pouch was a betrayal of the gospel. Every numbered account was a denial of Christ. Every burned ledger was a cover-up of Judas. The bronze brazier that swallowed rat-line ashes, swallowed London property files, swallowed abortion pill documents. The Tiber that drank melted teeth drank every secret. The Swiss guards that saluted Ustasha couriers salute Russian couriers, salute narco bishops, salute arms dealers. The brass plaque never changed. The candle never went out. The abyss never filled. The moral history of money is simple. Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Sovereign power without accountability corrupts eternally. The Vatican Bank proves that holiness and greed can share the same cassock. It proves that mercy can be sold to the merciless. It proves that the poorest church in spirit can be the richest church in gold. We are all complicit. Every time we look away, every time we excuse, every time we donate without demanding transparency. The debt resets only when we forget. The debt grows when we remember but do nothing. The debt is paid only when the vault door opens forever and the ledgers see daylight. Money built empires, but it also built illusions. And every time we forget that, history resets the debt.